academics meet creativity meeting potential.
Welcome! This is a presentation video for Group 606. During the semester, we have worked with the problem: how does implicit versus explicit information mediation affect declarative memory and learning outcomes in a virtual reality for use in a museum environment? We created a virtual reality environment modeled after Mosul Fort, a World War I coastal battery, and tested how much people could remember after their experience with the VR setup.
I was expecting that the implicit mediation would be way more successful than the explicit.
Well, what we learned from the project, what I think that as a group we learned, is that you can't always know the consequences of certain things on people. Sometimes you test them and you test your way to it. I think with what we've done, we've learned that sometimes one way isn't the right way. Sometimes you have to use different ways to mix them and then to have a unique way.
During both this semester and the last one, we worked with Greve Museum to design the product for general use at Mosul Fort Museum.
It puts the visitor in a different position as a recipient of the narrative. So I think that would be a really interesting thing to go forward with.
Men klart det der med at genskabe de der rum, som vi ikke kan genskabe på andre måder.
This semester we took it a step further. We were looking into how big the market for VR experiences was, and so we had a meeting with the Danish National Museum.
The meeting with the National Museum I thought went pretty well. It seemed like they were pretty interested in what we had created. It seemed like we kind of convinced them, because first they didn't really feel, they didn't seem to feel like an individual experience would fit into the museum, and you can only be like one person per Oculus Rift in this experience. But after trying it, it seemed like we kind of convinced at least some of them that it could be used in a real museum environment.
I want to see this project set up at Mosul Fort, and ultimately at other museums around Denmark, and ultimately after that at other museums around the world.